All right, so we have a division problem here when you come across this problem, and it gives you a big hint about how to get it started here. But so notice it's in this form here of a rational expression. Basically, the first thing you would do would turn it into traditional long division format, moving from this form into this form right here. So let's go ahead and start off. So the first thing I do, I look at the first term of the divisor here and the first term of the dividend. So basically what I'm thinking here is I'm going to divide 3r cubed, the first term of the dividend, divided by 3r, the first term of the divisor. All right, I'm going to move that over. So what I do, I divide those and I get r squared. So that's where the r squared comes from, by looking at the first term of the dividend, dividing it by the first term of the divisor. Now I'm going to multiply r squared times 3r minus 1, which would give me 3r cubed minus r squared. Now, the textbook says to mentally change or mentally subtract. One thing I like to do, I like to go ahead and change signs and add. So that would get me negative 15r squared. Then I would bring down the 17r. Okay? So now again, I'm going to look at this first term here, negative 15r squared, and I'm going to divide it by the first term of the divisor, 3r. And that's going to get me to negative 5r. So that's my next term. Notice that I'm putting it above the corresponding term, the r term, or the first degree term. Right? Over here I put it above the second degree term, right? So those should match up. One thing very important about division is that you keep everything lined up pretty properly. So now I'm going to take negative 5r times 3r minus 1. Basically distribution. So negative 5r times 3r is negative 15r squared. Negative 5r times 1 is positive 5r. All right, and then they say to subtract. And one thing I like to do is change signs and then add. So I get 12r here. 17 minus 5 is 12r. Bring down the negative 4. So now I'm going to do this term right here, 12r, divided by the first term of the divisor. So I would do 12r divided by 3r, and that gets me to 4r. Okay? So I take the 4r and I put that, sorry, not 4r, 4. The r's cancel out, right? the r's cancel out, so I'm left with 4. So this would be plus 4. Then I would multiply the 4 times the divisor. 4 times 3r minus 1. 12r minus 4. Change signs and add. And I got a remainder of 0 here. So that's how you would work this particular division problem. So here's the next one. Notice that this time the division problem, it does tell me to divide, right? Notice that the division problem is written as a rational expression. So the first thing I got to do here is write this as a traditional long division problem. There we go. We've written it as a traditional long division problem. Okay? The divisor of x minus 2, the dividend of x squared minus 4x plus 4. So I look at the first term of the divisor, and I divide it. I divide the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor, and that gets me to x. So x is going to go right here. Notice that it's above the first degree term. So then I would multiply x times x minus 2. You get x squared minus 2x. Now, as it says in the textbook, what you would do would subtract. I like to go ahead and change signs and then add. And then I bring down the 4. So I got negative 2x. So now I'm going to take that negative 2x, divide it by the first term of the divisor, and I get negative 2. So negative 2 goes here. Now I take the negative 2 times the x minus 2. I got negative 2x plus 4. Change signs and add. I got a remainder of 0. So there is my quotient, x minus 2. So here is the next one that you'll come across. And this one in particular, you want to pay very attention to because this is very similar to the one that is on the test. So again, I've got it represented, the division problem represented as a rational expression. So the first thing I've got to do is write it as a long division problem. Okay? So I've written it as a long division problem now. So I take this first term of the dividend divided by the first term of the divisor. And I can make a little note on the side here that ends up with x. So x would go over the first degree term in the polynomial. So then I would take x times x plus 9. That's going to be x squared plus 9x. As I said, I like to do this. The textbook says to just mentally subtract. I like to go ahead and change signs and then add. Then I would bring down the negative 21. Now I'm going to take this term here, negative 2x, divided by the first term of the divisor, and I get negative 2. So negative 2 would go over the constant term in the polynomial. Then I would take negative 2 times x plus 9, negative 2x minus 18. I change signs and add, I got negative 3. So what I do with that remainder is put that remainder over the divisor. So my answer would be x minus 2 minus 3 over x plus 9. That would be my quotient right there. Quotient and then the remainder.